Hello, everyone. I'm Angel Qinan, and welcome to Transistors TV. If this is the first time you're joining us, it's time again for doing another community meeting. And today we have a very important topic, which is about how to deal with haters. Why don't you introduce yourselves, Ally?
Hi everyone, my name is AllyCat Castle, and again, I'm a proud transgender woman of color. I'm Angel's older sister in real life. Yes, same mom, same dad, same blood. And yes, but I'm more immature, and I'm also a makeup artist for a major TV network here in Washington, D.C. And also, I'm a content creator for YouTube, where I do product reviews as well as unbagging and unboxing of makeup. AllyCat Castle, back to you, Angel, to introduce our two other lovely ladies.
Yes, and tonight we also have, even though they're still light, we have our very special co-host as well, Miss Faelnar Te.
Hi everyone, thank you for watching. My name's Faelnar Te. I'm one half of Miss Charlie Talks. I'm a model and an actor and many other stuff that you should already know if you keep on watching. But if you're for your first time, welcome. Hi.
Wow, I love your top. It looks like a Filipiniana. And if you guys are here, we also have a live chat, so please join us there. Hello, Tactical Gaming, I'm Maricel, and I'm there, of course, in Ally. And Mom, happy birthday, Mom. Mama's here, and she just celebrated her 70th birthday. It's a milestone. And talking about birthdays, there's also one birthday celebrant here. So the background is very festive and I love the outfit as well. Miss Sonia, the only one.
Yokoso, minasan, Transistor TV. Welcome. I'm Sonia, the only one, and I'm a fashion stylist, and you can catch me on my Instagram and Facebook accounts at Sonia, the only one. Thank you, ladies, for greeting me my happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Ate Sonia. Okay,
Thank you for spending it with us.
Yes.
Of course.
So without further ado, let's focus on today's topic. And today's topic is how to deal with haters. As you all know, we've experienced this some way, somehow, at some point in our lives, and it also has affected our communities, especially nowadays towards the Asian community. But also, again, that's the reason why we're talking about that today. We're going to be talking about haters being haters in all streams as much as we can for the next hour that we have. So again, first, the definition of hate. So according to Oxford Languages, hate means to feel intense or passionate dislike for someone. And then I also went to stopbullying.gov, and it actually says in here that a hater is a label used to refer to people who use negative and critical comments and behavior to bring another person down by making them look or feel bad. So, do you all agree with the meaning of hate?
Oh my God, that feels so sad. And of course, I agree with them because that's like from the dictionary and from .govs, stop bullying.
Exactly. So, I mean, just like all of you, I definitely agree with this, that there's actually really a reason why, certain individuals really hate, and hate actually comes in all levels. That's actually in person. That's actually in social media. And it's basically an attack, And what's your take on that, Lee and Miss Sonia, about the meaning of hate, since that's actually how we're starting?
For me, I do agree with whatever like you mentioned. Congratulations to whoever wrote those definitions. For writing something that's very concise. But I also think hate is something that has largely to do with being fearful. Like I feel like one of the reasons why there's hate is because of fear, and also because of education and things that have been instilled with you since you were a child in the community that you grew up at. So I think like those are I always say, like, the opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is fear.
I love that. Again, that's the great thing about Miss Lee. always putting things into perspective. Now, Miss Sonia, how about you? What is your take on the meaning of hate as well as the meaning of haters?
I think that hate is a very, very, very negative word to be used, to live by, to be a habit, because it does not give good energy to you and to yourself. It is, for me, hatred is a defense mechanism.
Okay.
It's a defense mechanism. So for me, whoever wrote all about hatred, even they're always on point. There's nothing
Okay,
good
so that
about hatred.
that means all of us agree with the meaning of that. Okay, so now
Yes.
again, as I wanted to emphasize, just so that everything is in the same we're on the same page rather, these hurtful and negative comments can be delivered in person, online, or in text and apps as well. Now, next, it actually says in here, haters are often anonymous, especially online, but they can also be acquaintances, peers, or people who were once considered friends. Oh my gosh, yes. So why do you think that haters most of the time can appear anonymous? You know, for me, again, one of the words that actually remind me of this is backstabbers. Because in front of you, they look good, and then behind you, they attack you. So yes. So what do you guys think?
I think they're very coward if they're like, if they appear anonymous and they don't want to reveal themselves because, as you said, it's possibly insecurity and they don't want people to know that they're insecure. So they kind of like comment anonymously. So I think they're very coward to do that. But hating in general, I mean, of course, it's a negative thing. I mean, yeah, that's my thought on that.
So again, so how about you, Miss Lee and Miss Sonia? Why do you think that a lot of haters are actually anonymous, especially online as well?
Um, um, well, like online, because like they're trolls, like stuff like sometimes like they're trolls. Like you can actually, there's something that I watched, a documentary called Fake Famous, and you actually can buy followers. You can buy like, so people can actually, you can actually buy people to comment on pages, and then they can actually just leave hate comments, so that like probably the person that's posting stuff on social media would be discouraged to post stuff anymore, or like to promote like false information, stuff like that. So like they're like, I feel like they're anonymous because sometimes they're really fake, because they're just doing it because they're getting paid to do it, and anonymous because also there can be ramifications, there can be consequences for having hateful comments. Let me just also qualify, we're probably talking more about personal, like, or like interpersonal hate, stuff like that, rather than like I hate eating apples or I hate smelling like bad, like that. Because like sometimes like there's stuff like maybe like, because like I don't like smelling bad for myself, but I don't mind it with other people. I just don't, as long as it doesn't transfer to me. You know what I mean?
Yes, so we agree with Lee as what she said. The hate that we're talking about is interpersonal. There you go.
Yeah, it sounds like some of them have hidden agendas. Like,
yes,
what is he saying?
Yeah, they're like they have a plan. Yes. So Miss Sonia, how about you? Why do you think haters are usually anonymous?
Yes, it just gave them a more wide platform, more chance of being more hatred. So they want to be anonymous and being online. Of course, they can now do things and just say anything that they want. And being anonymous is, as I've said, it's a defense mechanism. So as much as they want to be unknown but be heard.
Oh, I love that. Right? Yes. Okay. Well, for me, I think the reason why they're actually anonymous, let's face it, they're not proud of what they do. And of course, if you are not proud of what you do, that is because you know that there's something wrong with what you're doing. And, I mean, definitely for me, that's the reason why a lot of haters are anonymous. They don't want to be seen because they don't want to be embarrassed that they're going to be confronted or have a face as to why they're hating. Okay, so now the next one is, I actually love this. Like bullying, haters is something that a person does. It is not who they are, and it can be changed. Do you think that it definitely can be changed? You know, especially with haters? For me, I think there's actually definitely a time for them to change. But I think, especially with a lot of haters, it starts with a lot of them being like not secure of themselves, not being confident about themselves. And of course, when you're not confident about yourself, then you actually see other people being their true selves or being so happy. And this happens a lot. For some reason, they don't like that, especially when a person is different. And again, they also put it here on stopbullying.gov. They even said that often haters pick on people whom they perceive as being different from themselves, especially when things are not unusual. Is when most haters actually hate.
I mean, I think the challenge with that is some people think they're confident and they're actually hating. So it's like not knowing that they're insecure. So yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but sometimes it's actually like not knowing like who you are. And then, so it kind of translates into hate. But yeah, Lee was nodding.
I'm agreeing with Angel, because like it does take, like if it's already part like of something that you're used to, if it's communal already and it becomes normalized, you don't notice that you're actually doing something, like some sort, like somebody can feel like hate or an attack that can be just a microaggression. um you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be big. So like sometimes like you think like you're not hating, and I'm definitely guilty of this, because like I've probably hated on somebody that I wasn't intentionally trying to hate on. I'm like, nobody's perfect. There are times that, like, when I have my own insecurity, I also lash out. So for me to be able to change myself, um I had to realize and look at myself. I'm like, why did I get mad, or why am I doing this? Like, what are the things that I'm like, is there something that I'm scared or afraid about, or something that I'm insecure about, for me to be able to change those actions that I do? So I feel like change can only happen once a group of people, or like them haters, realize that what they're doing is actually hating, and not like, you know, pushing their values, pushing stuff that they're used to from before, or just because like there's more ways to make money other than posting hate stuff online, like stuff like that.
Definitely again with Miss Lee and you, Miss Sonia. What do you think?
Yes, I think so too. It's becoming also a business of being hating, be having hate opinions, and definitely people can change. But
Mhm.
if it's your attitude already and you live by it, then I hope someday there will be realization. And you cannot live by hate only.
I love that. You cannot live by hate only. Of course, hopefully, a lot of people will realize that. So now let's actually talk about how to deal with haters.
Yeah.
One of them actually is to ignore it. And it actually says in here, walk away. Don't react or respond to negative comments. And if it continues, especially to young people, there are other things that you can do. And so would you say that you would also ignore or walk away from your haters? Is that one of the things that you would do as well?
I think I do that a lot. Like me personally, that's one of my first probably defense mechanism that I use for haters. An example would be pronouns. Like when somebody kind of uses he right away, I just kind of like put it under the rug right away so I can just move on with my life and deal with things. But sometimes if it's hard to ignore, then I will go to the next options. But I think that's my first go-to is ignoring. But sometimes if it gets pounded too much, or obviously if your life's in danger or other things, then it will be hard to just ignore. But that is my first go-to. So I agree with ignoring.
It's like the in 2012 when I was joining Queen USA as Miss Tennessee and you were my assistant, Angel. Remember that was my top 10 question and answer. Like what would you do if somebody is talking smack about you and you were in a restaurant? And that's exactly what my answer was. Like initially I'm just gonna ignore them because like I'm not gonna give them power over what they're saying and try to pay attention to them. They might just like want my attention, and me probably ignoring them takes the power away from them and back to me. So ignoring is like one way, but then like there's if it escalates, then my actions also would escalate, and depending on what's supposed to happen. Yeah, no. And then I was like first in that question and answer. So
yeah. Our beauty queen.
Well, and if I could answer that, actually, I myself, you know, I mean, as I've gotten older as well, as much as possible as well, I actually just ignore it most of the time. That is because I don't want to waste my energy on it. And that's the reason why I ignore it. How about you, Ate Sonia? Are you also the type of person who would ignore it?
Yes, ignore it. But of course, as you've said, if it will escalate, he will also have a little word from my mouth also. You know, we're only people, and hello, diba? Hello, and it is also our right to stand up for ourselves also. So they will learn.
How would you stand up for yourself then from these haters? Like, what would be an example of that?
Well, of course, I could only say that don't use wrong words. And I am not being angry. I am just teaching you on how to respect people. So keep that in mind. Learn to respect people. If I am also being very confrontational, because I am teaching you, I am explaining, I am telling you, this is it, not that.
Yeah, so listen to Ate Sonia, the only one.
Listen.
Okay.
Listen.
And actually, like what Ate Sonia actually said actually was right. Be kind and respectful even to haters. It shows that you're in control of your emotions and that you aren't letting negativity bring you down. You know, I mean, because basically like you basically take the higher road. And okay, now
Ali, let's talk to our viewers, since we have been ignoring them
Angel,
for a little bit.
Angel, can you actually like read some of the comments from our viewers?
So I'm gonna start from the most recent one going up, since we kind of went along. This is a very important topic and we're very passionate about it. So let me say hi to people who have joined. Kuya Roderick, it's still human to show your fangs sometimes. Just do it with class. Oh, diba? Matthew Grant, who is the one on top right? She's gorgeous. That's the beauty queen, Miss Faelnar Te. And Edward, thank haters for their criticisms. Kill them with kindness. They will eventually stop. Jared is saying, one of the best ways to deal with haters is to ignore them. They usually crave the attention. So if you don't give them that, they lose. Or you can kill them with kindness. So we're going to talk about that maybe a little bit later. And then hi to everybody else. Ignore them. Maricel Abalos, bling bling, please. Ali, let me see your lips. Maybe I guess when you have your... And then... who else is here that we missed? Hi, Noreen. Hello. Nice of you to join us here. Hi, Michael Gregory. Hi, of course, Dylan and Autumn Lover. Hello. Maria.
So let's continue,
hello.
Angel, with that topic. Yes, because we're going to be reading them along the way. Yeah, because we have a lot to discuss.
All right, thanks. I got everybody. So say hi.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Sorry, guys, because there's just so much for us to like talk about tonight. Okay, so Kuya Roderick said here, defend your boundaries if it's about your family, loved ones, but always remember to always choose your battles. Yeah, so I guess that's true. You would actually know when you need to confront the hate being delivered to you on why the person is like doing this. You know, sometimes I actually just say, I'm just doing the best that I can to basically like deliver an important information and an important message, what made you think of you saying such a thing? Because I actually think that it actually like gives them an opportunity to speak up. And if there's a way that I can actually help them, some way, somehow, on why they think they're doing such an attack, then that's what I would do. Because at the end of the day, it's better perhaps if it's going to be a win-win situation. But then again, if the hater actually keeps on hating and hating you, then that's the time that I just ignore it. But first, sometimes I would actually ask, why? What do you think is the reason behind you hating this post or you hating the message here? And also I also ask them, what do you think it is that I can improve on for next time? If I actually think that it's actually a constructive criticism.
For me, I think communication is very important, and sometimes they don't know that they're actually hurting you. So for me, part of what I would say is like how I feel about it. So like say for example, if I go back to the pronouns, and if it's kind of goes back to pounding and pounding, then maybe like letting them know how I feel about it. Like, I feel like I'm being disrespected. I feel like I'm being devalued, or you're not respecting me for who I am by saying he repeatedly. Sometimes I think that helps the other person kind of be on your shoes for a little bit and maybe understand. Because sometimes it's just maybe they don't want to do it, but it kind of they don't realize it as well, because they're just so used to it, because it's a systematic problem. It's like the whole society's problem, and it takes a while for them to change. So I think that's important also to say how you feel about it, about the attacks that you feel.
Yeah, it depends like completely how you felt like you've been hated upon. Like if it's in social media, if somebody like just like their opinion is their opinion, so I would just like normally say like, oh, thanks for that opinion, and then hopefully like you can continue to spread love in the world or whatnot, and this and that. So like that's something that I would do if it's social media. I remember one time when I went back to the Philippines, I went to my school, and I was trying to get my diploma. The person that was in the window kept on calling me sir, so I called her sir as well, and she was female, so I called her sir as well. And she got surprised, and I kept on saying it back to her, and she just looked flabbergasted. And I was just like, yeah, that's exactly how I would feel. I would feel surprised if you call me that way. So let me just let you feel how you feel by not mentioning it, and just letting you exactly feel what I was feeling. And it was just like, oh, like I just saw it in her eyes. I'm like, oh, what? Why are you calling me sir? And that was just like, exactly.
Diba? Fans with class.
Yes, fans with class. And Ate Sonia, how about you? What's your take on that?
Oh, my take on that is it is very situational, but of course you also you know how to handle it, and you can handle it in your classic way, in your depends on how will you approach it. But as I've said, you just have to teach people and let them know what is the issue. So you're not getting angry, you're just telling them what is. So for me, issue, it's here in the Philippines, mom sir, mom sir, mom sir. So I think they're in the safe side when they say that. Mom sir, mom, oh, okay, mom sir, mom sir. Okay, oh, very good. But if it happens to me, of course, it's as I grew up, I've learned. So now I said, madam, call me madam. Call me madam. Yeah, okay, okay po, okay, madam. Okay, and okay, madam. And
So basically, Ate Sonia, you basically like also let them know how they can approach you.
Yes,
or how they can address you.
Yes, you teach them so you won't be, of course, parang, diba? You won't. So you teach them. You as Miss Bill said, you go ahead. You teach them already. You let them know.
It sounds like you're giving them a chance to change
to
right away
change.
first. But what if they don't change? Like if you tell them madam and then they still
madam,
keep saying
madam, and mom sir, next window please. Okay.
That's so funny. Okay. Well, that's the reason why Ate Sonia's here. She's always like a ray of light. So now let's actually go back to the positive. To the topic criticism. Again, it actually says at Forbes.com. According to Forbes.com, make criticism your fuel, not your kryptonite. It's all about how you frame it. If someone says you aren't smart enough, then tell yourself, I can't wait to prove them wrong. I also love in here that it says the revolutionaries who made an impact, changed the rules, ended wars, and fought for freedom were the crazy ones. And actually, I believe the reason why a lot of haters actually attack someone that they hate or a particular person that they hate is, again, like what we were saying, sometimes that it's something that's like different from them. It's something definitely that has triggered them. And that's the reason why when I actually read this, I definitely agree with sometimes the crazy ones really are the ones who make things happen because they go outside of the box. And when you go outside of the box, when things are usually not normal, is when people question you. But sometimes with some people, they don't question you constructively. They question you in a very it becomes negative when the criticism becomes, when there's like an underlying negative feeling, and that's when it becomes a hate. Yeah. So for me, that's my meaning of the hate there. It's like the constructive criticism plus a little bit of this like person not feeling good about this person that they want to attack is when it becomes the hate. So do you think that the crazy ones really are the revolutionary ones? Okay, Lee, I see that you're quite questioning. How would you answer that? Or how would you define that situation?
Can you qualify the crazy ones or the revolutionary ones? Like the haters that are crazy or the people that are...
No, meaning, well, it actually says in here...
Like, what?
Well, that's according to Forbes.com. That's their own version of the revolutionaries. And when people go outside of the box, they just gave that term, but it doesn't technicality means that you need to be crazy, that you don't know what you're doing. But for me, what they mean here by the crazy ones is you think bigger than normality.
I don't know if they're crazy.
So how would you define it then if you don't know?
I wouldn't say if like I want to change the way that trans women are seen, not as like third-class citizens or fourth-class citizens. I don't think that's being crazy. I feel that's just me trying to promote something so that my community would have more understanding and love and respect. So I feel like that it can be revolutionary, but I don't think it's crazy. I feel like something, if you're insane or you're crazy, then you just keep on trying to do something over and over and over again, expecting different results, but you're just getting the same results. So I don't think it's crazy. I feel like people that do that plan really well, they organize, and then they also get into a community with the same like values, and they start to do ways so that they can create a change. If that's crazy, then I guess we are, but I don't think it is.
I think the crazy that they mentioned here is just basically a slang overall, like going outside of the norm, but not basically a particular group or community or individual. But sometimes it's just like one person doing something that's outside of the norm, or something that's like not what we usually expect that's being done every day. Something that we don't usually see all the time. So crazy can actually be in both a positive way as well as in a negative way. But the way it was written here was, it's true. Sometimes we basically get enlightened or question something when something is not beyond what we understand. And when things are something beyond what we don't understand, or if things are beyond what we understand rather, is when we basically get to exercise the way we think and the way we perceive things, whether that be with things, with people, situations, or experience.
I mean, I agree with both of you, because it's kind of the challenge here is the term crazy on like how it's being used. I mean, we all have like crazy, and English is our second language. So crazy is kind of like, it has so many meanings, but if somebody is doing, if everybody's doing things day to day a certain way, and then there's this one person who thinks it's wrong and it has to be changed, and he has this great idea of changing things, that's crazy. That's ridiculous, but it might actually bring change. So I agree with what Forbes is saying in terms of it's kind of being outside the box is crazy, but now that we know that people can change if we think outside the box, then I guess for us, we're woke. It's not crazy anymore.
Yeah,
for us to actually be somebody who thinks outside the box. So I think it's kind of like the evolution or the different perspectives of how we use the term crazy. But I definitely agree that kind of being crazy, because you're thinking outside the box, you might be perceived as crazy, but you can actually change things. But now we know that sometimes it's actually good to be crazy because you can change things.
But that's actually what I like about, but that's also what I like about Lee, is how she is such a strong advocate for our community. So if someone would perceive our community, especially the transgender community, of, being crazy for being different, being, I guess, like crazy for being like authentic about who you are, then that's actually what I love about her, about Lee, is she stands up for everything that has to do with light and positivity. So there. Love you so much, Lee. Okay, before we go to Ate Sonia, and our seats are heating up in here.
I know, because
if you all are having a great time, can you please support our episode today by giving us a thumbs up or a like as well? So again, if you are in the live chat, if you could quickly press the X, and then if you could actually press the thumbs up, we would so appreciate your support as well. Okay, now, Ate Sonia, did you want to say anything about that? About the word crazy?
Crazy, yeah. Crazy, we are always crazy. We are crazy for what we believe in. We are crazy in what we want. We are crazy in being loved. We always get crazy in all stuff. So it is what you believe in and what you really want to happen, then be crazy to do it. Be crazy to really believe that it will happen. That's all.
So in other words, basically, crazy can also basically equal to a little bit of passion. Having the passion to do what it is that you fight for, what it is that you believe in, and what you basically want things to happen for. Right, Ate Sonia? Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So now to move on from this topic, I mean,
from this crazy topic.
It also says in here, according to Forbes.com, that take hate as a compliment. You're going to inspire envy and criticism if you're super successful at what you do. And criticism is the best proof that you're bound to be wildly successful. The more people badmouth you, the more jealous they are of you. And that's according to Barbara Corcoran, of course, who is the founder of the Corcoran Group and the shark from Shark Tank. There you go. So do you believe in what she said, that the more people badmouth you, the more jealous they are of you? Well, I actually agree with that. I mean, just like when you watch a movie, like usually like these people, let's just look at like Cinderella, like with like the stepsisters as well as the stepmother. They hate Cinderella because you know what? She had it all. She doesn't need all this gowns, all these things, all these paraphernalias, all these accessories just to be beautiful. Because she herself, she was content with who she was. She knew who she was. And she knew that she was just being her. And I think if you know that you are just being your true self and that you're living your most authentic truth, then sometimes within yourself, that's the most beautiful thing. But with other people is when they don't understand that. Because sometimes other people are just not happy for others people's happiness and some people's security. So that's basically how I would answer that statement.
I mean, as an actress, I think if you have haters, then it means you're actually affecting other people, which is one of the things that is what your goal is in acting. So I think sometimes it is a good thing to have haters, and we all of the big stars, they all have haters. You know, all of the great leaders, they all have haters. All of the great inventors of our time, they all have haters. So I think it's inevitable, and the more haters you get, hopefully you have more lovers though, but the more haters you get, it means you're just like becoming more known and becoming more, whatever work you're doing is getting noticed by other people.
Yes.
Oh, I love that,
Yes.
Angel. Ate Sonia or Lee, did you want to say anything?
Yeah. For me, it's like you're very effective if people will hate you, especially in the acting industry. The contrabidas are very effective if you hate them. But the villains, if you hate them, they're very effective. So, you know, it's just a matter of your conviction, and people, if as I've said, great leaders have haters, great people have haters. Everything you do, you'll have haters, but you don't have to explain to them. You don't have to explain to them.
And basically, that's how it is actually in life. Whether you do good or you do bad, you're going to have your share of haters anyway. So might as well just do whatever it is that you want to do and live the best that you can. And Miss Lee, how about you?
I mean, you can't please everyone.
Yes, you don't have to explain.
Yeah, that's like the thing. I'm like, if it's criticism, then that's something that you might want to ponder upon, because constructive criticism is always great. Like you can benefit from constructive criticism, but like an outright attack on your, like, it's not like, I feel like sometimes like when it's hating, it's not an outright attack on your work or like things that you do. It's an outright attack on your personality or your being or yourself or your existence. So like when that's like the case, then why would you have to give them time of day? You know, like you're wasting, I feel like I'm wasting my energy if I'm gonna give them time of day. So does it mean that I'm more successful? Maybe, but yeah, I guess like it's like, you know, it's just it you can't like really please everyone. So it's just like the case, like everybody has differences of opinion, and that's like where we agree to disagree sometimes.
And I want to add, like mom always tells us, like, 'cause sometimes when we get hate comments on our YouTube channel or everywhere, and it's hurtful and we kind of would react to it, when our mom would always, let's say, kind of like, well, if you look at the, let's say, Quiapo church, like the YouTube that they have and the masses, you know, they all have thumbs down as well. So again, there will be haters anywhere. So yeah, so I just wanted to add that piece of knowledge that mom shared with us as well.
Yes, that's true. That's true. You not all will be pleased. So you just don't have to explain to them, you know, and that's it.
And speaking of like not explaining anything to them, according again to Forbes.com, it actually says in here, don't react, be grateful. When you do big things, you'll always have haters and naysayers. And then look at this, hate, love, critique, and praise are all types of acknowledgement. And according to Jason Capital, he is White House's top 100 entrepreneurs under 30. He said, when you have haters, you're no longer ignored or unseen. You've made it to the spotlight when the magic happens. Are you getting hate even though you're doing good work? Good job. You've made it to the next level. And that's true. When you know anyway that your intent is true, when you know anyway that the product or the service that you're doing is good, then technically that's right. Why should you react? But I guess, again, as normal human beings. You're just, you're just a person with feelings. I mean, that you would be hurt. So, but then again, I actually love what they said about this.
So I think it's like what the current Miss Universe is saying, you're taking space.
Yes, taking space.
Taking space.
But sometimes like hate like doing like in our culture, like sometimes we call it okray. And there's also haters roast. Sometimes it can be fun. Like one of my favorite drag winners of RuPaul's Drag Race is Bianca Del Rio, and she has a Rolodex of hate, and I love her because she just calls it out, and it becomes like it's a criticism, but it's done like super funny in a way, and it's a truth. It's a generalized truth about like a group of people. Sometimes like people can say like it's beyond boundaries, but at the same time it can also be funny, because it's done in a way where it's like hilarious. Like when people do stand-up comedy, sometimes like there's a fine line between it being an outright attack and it being funny. So like take it as it is, and it also depends on like your level of emotional strength and your mental health as well, like depending on how you can handle stuff is like really what I think. Like sometimes a little bit of hate is fine because you need to release.
But have you also noticed that when you actually are in a good mood and when people hate you, it's when you actually can take things lightly. So sometimes it also depends on the day, I guess. But again, also, that's also very funny, I mean, especially in comedy, when they actually put hate into comedy, then it becomes very funny. So it's actually very evident in basically our everyday lives. Angel, was there something you wanted to say?
Yeah, because like Lee is saying about the stand-up comedy and the drag queens. But as what you mentioned earlier during the show, sometimes it's kind of like the hidden agendas, that they are earning from it. People are entertained hearing it. And so it's actually a little bit easier to kind of back and forth the roasting and the hating.
And to piggyback on what Angel said and Lee said, look, it actually says in here again, according to my research on Forbes.com, it actually says in here that get engagement by trolling back. The second you take negative comments personally, you're losing. If a troll says something funny, throw a joke back. So
called shade, darling, shade. Because reading is fundamental.
So we basically live in that kind of world. So wait, let's read some comments right here. So Michael said, behind every successful person, there is a pack of haters. Well, I definitely agree with that, Michael. And then Kuya Roderick said, criticisms can be taken positively if it will change you for the better. It's negative if it's pulling you down and already destroying you. That's the reason why we need to know again if this negative comment or if this hate being thrown to us is really a constructive criticism. Because then again, it boils down to knowing, are you putting good content out there? Are you putting something good out there? Because if your intention is good, then I think that you should not be affected. So
yes.
And then Michael Gregory said, there's a Taylor Swift song, Shake It Off. I want to add, like Christina Aguilera, I am beautiful no matter what they say.
Yes. Self-affirmation, right?
Yes. Yes.
So songs help.
Yeah, songs help. Sing, shake it off.
Okay, now I also love this. Kill them. Oh, I actually said this already. No, I actually love this.
Oh, by the way.
Huh? Go ahead.
No.
You were greeting someone. Okay.
I just want to say.
It also said in here, according to entrepreneur.com, when someone is hating you, be more humble. You can use criticism as a lesson to take the high road. There will be situations where you can fight back and always do the right thing. You might be more accomplished than those giving you a hard time. Do you agree with that? That usually a lot of haters usually hate someone who is like more accomplished than them.
Yes.
Lee, Angel, I see that you're nodding.
It depends.
Yeah, again, Lee. So again, as what I said earlier, like leaders have a lot of haters also. Like it happens a lot of time, even on the smaller scale. Like, you know, a lot of people hate their bosses. This is how it kind of happens. But Lee.
Yeah, no, it depends. Like sometimes, like, yeah, because like you kind of want to be in their position. So like there's a little bit of envy and jealousy that might be added to your like hate. But sometimes it's also like your internalized, like for me, like for instance, like there was a time when I was not I did not want to be associated with trans folk that were more obviously trans than I was, because I didn't want to get, you know, I was afraid of getting clocked. I was afraid of getting, you know, made fun of, blah blah blah, this and that. So like it also like it can also be like my internalized insecurity that's making me do something that I shouldn't have been doing, and I might have alienated some of my community before because I had my own issues that I had to deal with. Like I always like look at it personally because I know I'm guilty of hating like a lot, like a lot. I'm like one shady queen. Crown me.
Well, I actually see Lee as not really a shady queen. It's just that she actually just really wants more definition of something. And that's the reason why I actually love the fact when Lee sometimes opposes into something that's being said, because I think something will just be more beautiful if we can expound things further based on the questions thrown upon you. And that's the reason why sometimes I think that when you question someone or when you question a situation or a person, it can be good. We just need to see up to what extent it is that we're questioning it. Because if there's already an underlying jealousy with your questioning, then that's when it actually can be a trigger to it being a hateful comment or a hateful response. So, okay. So now I also love what Jared said.
Ate Sonia wanted to say something earlier, and then you weren't looking, and then yeah. So Ate Sonia, what was it that you were gonna say?
Oh, I was just saying, yes, having those criticisms and everything, it's okay. But just when it comes so very becoming so personal, that's a different story. And hatred is jealousy. You know, there's all there you know, when people hate you, it's people that hate you now, not you being hate. It's people when they hate you, there's envy, jealousy, and they have some, you know, or you're just being big, becoming successful, and they just try to pull you down, you know. So you
Okay,
just
so
have to be
basically,
very
like, yeah, when
careful.
someone is successful, you agree that basically this person becomes jealous, this person becomes envy,
Yeah.
and things like that. Okay.
People, yes. That's
So thank you for agreeing, Ate Sonia. And then Life in Plastic, Jared said in here, like, I think this is a song from Mariah Carey. They can say anything they want to say, try to bring me down, but I will always not allow anyone to succeed hanging clouds over me. And they can try hard to make me feel that I don't matter at all, but I refuse to falter in what I believe or lose faith in my dreams. At the end of the day, that's actually what we need to do as creators, as actors, as creative people. Or, you know, if your aim is to do good, then you just need to continue doing. Because no matter what, even if you're the kindest person in the world, if you're the most generous person in the world, you're going to have your share of haters anyway. So just do you.
And I love that song too, Jared. I play that over and over again when I feel being hated on.
Okay. Lee, was there anything you wanted to say?
Was there a question?
Okay, so that's no, it's okay. We're just talking about, you know, about the statements, about these things that we're talking about.
Oh.
So actually, no, there was not a question. Ate Sonia actually said something and I agreed to it. Then after that, I actually just went back to reading a comment from Jared about the song of Mariah Carey. So now I actually love what it said in here as well about hate. On Forbes, again, Forbes.com, it actually says in here, look hate as appreciating your victories, because accomplishing something after many people told you that you would not be able to is a great feeling. You should be proud of what you are able to achieve throughout your life. Your haters can serve as a reminder to appreciate these victories and be grateful for all the good you are fortunate to have.
I like that. So it sounds like when you actually succeed and you have a lot of haters on your way to that success, your success becomes more sweeter. Mm.
Exactly. It definitely can become like bittersweet. You know, I actually remember this back in 2005 from my personal experience. Um, Not that I want to say this, but I'm just saying the truth as a fact. As a makeup artist who have worked in retail cosmetics for more than like 10 years, I remember that when I was just starting as a makeup artist, I told my manager, there's this company, which is the number one makeup company then, where all makeup artists would like to work for. Um, so I was offered a job there with this like makeup company. And then I told my present manager then that this other company is recruiting me and I would like to work there. And my manager said then, well, you're not really a makeup artist. You are a seller. Just because I've always been a top producer. But for me, it's not my fault if I can actually sell well and do makeup at the same time. You know, that's actually one of my personal gifts. But you are not here to tell me that I cannot be the makeup artist that I want to be. If I did let him crumble me or crush my dreams and listen to him seeing me and me not seeing who I am, then I will not be the celebrity makeup artist that I am today.
Yeah. So I think from what I've learned on our episode today is he was boxing you in on that, and there's a hidden agenda to keep you at your current position because you were selling well. But I'm glad that you didn't let yourself crumble with that, and actually, still allowed you to become the makeup artist that you are.
Right. So now I actually would like to hear from Lee, Angel, and Ate Sonia. What has been in your personal life or personal experience that someone told you that you're not going to make it and you did? That you basically have shown your haters that, you know what? Didn't matter what you said. I still went for my dreams. And that dream came true. Because this person was some way, somehow, just like what we were talking about the whole entire episode, that some of them can be your friends, some of them can have a hidden agenda. So
I think one obvious thing for me is being transgender. I've gotten a lot of comments before, especially pre-transition, that you're never going to be attracted, you're never going to find a partner, you're never going to be loved if you do end up being a transgender person, because that's what their thought of a transgender person is. And I have proven them wrong.
Oh, yeah, because you chose your happiness. And I'm proud of you, Angel, that you chose your happiness and that you lived your authentic life, because there's nothing more beautiful than living your most authentic life. And again, regardless of what they say, all these haters, you know what? Go ahead. Because you know what? They cannot take your happiness because you chose your own happiness. Lee, Ate Sonia, any personal experience that you can share with us?
For me, I've always been proving myself, to my family, and to my friends, and even my enemies and people who hate me. And I always proven myself to God, which is very important to me. And so whatever in my life, as I grew up, in my family, of course, brothers will always say, "Oh, you're ganyan, you're like that, you're like that. You don't have to be like that." So that's one thing. So I have to prove something to my family. The next thing in school, of course, and next thing in my job, in my profession, in Japan. Even in Japan, we have customers that, "Oh, are you good at? You're not a woman. You're not." Oh, it's how you face it. You deal with it and prove to yourself. You prove to yourself that I am worth. As I said, I am worth it.
Because you're
and I love that. I actually love the fact that you actually always chose yourself first. And at such a young age, didn't matter what your family said, it didn't matter what your classmates said or how they treated you in school, you still chose yourself first. And that's something I'm very proud of you, Miss Sonia, or Ate Sonia. Okay, Lee, how about you? What is your personal experience that you can share with us?
I mean, there's a lot. Like, there's a song in a chorus line. It's like, and I am
Feel
nothing.
nothing.
I feel nothing, like, and like but I am something. So like it's just like you take it as I feel like when I hear comments, it just really depends. I try to look at where the person is coming from. If it's somebody who's not close to me, why would I even bother? Right? But if it's somebody that's close to me, like if it's a family or a friend, they might be coming from a place of love that I'm just like perceiving it as hate because it's something that's pulling me down, and making me feel bad about myself. But there might be some truth to that if I just like look into what they're saying, or if I'm just like trying to put them in my shoes. That's why it's hard to actually say like why haters hate, because I'm not that person. My reaction to their hate might not be their intent. Does that make sense? But like that's the thing. Like if I what I learned is I just need to be true to what I feel. And I always say, like, if I move in a place of love coming from myself first, love of myself, then that love for myself can overflow and I can like give that to other people. So I feel like that's basically like what Ate Sonia said, it's self-worth. And there's so many things, like even me speaking and saying like, hey, you have an accent, like that for me is a little bit of a microaggression that, like I might take it as a grain of salt. Like I can't change that, or I might go to classes and like try to change it. It just really depends. But like at the same time, like just make sure like with anything, if you keep on loving yourself, then you can achieve the stuff that you want to and be the person that you are.
I love that. On that note, any final words for our topic about how to deal with haters? Well, for me, my final words or thoughts is just continue being you. Just continue like going after your dreams. At the end of the day, your life is based on the decisions that you make, and it's based on the things that will make you happy. So if you choose yourself first, if you choose your own happiness, regardless of what other people say, at the end of the day, we cannot really blame others but ourselves, because we're still the ones who can make the final decision. Angel, Ate Sonia, or Lee?
Yes. Oh,
Ate Sonia, yes. How about you?
yes. For me, it's a very, very exciting world, especially in our community. So we always have to be strong, and of course, our self worth, and of course, me. It has to be us, me first, of course, and then and take on haters. Yes, as Miss Lee said, it's a different story if it is a friend. But if it's coming from somebody else, you don't know, oh, it's just a waste of energy. So you have a life. And as for me, for haters, I take that as silent skills. So you just keep on blabbing and blabbing and blabbing and blabbing, and I'll be silent. Shh.
There you
And you just
go.
blow.
Oh, thank you, Ate Sonia. Okay, Lee, Angel.
Like for those people that probably hate on me, like I respect you as a person and I respect your opinion, and your opinion is valid to yourself, but as long as that hate is coming from a place of love or a knowingness, and you're in to create a conversation that's more open rather than defensive, and you're not trying to change minds, you're just trying to explain your point, like that's just exactly what like you need to meet in a medium where um you might want to change mind, but you're also trying to understand. Like there's a point where I have to understand where they're coming from, because it might be something that I'm actually doing that I might benefit from what they're saying. But if it's like just an attack on my being, my community, especially I'm a dog. I was born in the year of the dog, so that means I'm very loyal to like people that I love and care for. So if you hate on people that I love and care for, I'm gonna bite you and bark at you and do all of those stuff, because I'm gonna defend my community and my friends. And that's the tea, Queen Honeybee.
Thank you for that, Lee. Aw, Angel.
And And for me, I always kind of go back to the, you probably heard me before on the previous episodes with this, it's kind of like the prayer of serenity, which is kind of like giving me the courage to change the things that I can and accepting those that I cannot, because haters will always be there. So sometimes it's just accepting that they will always be there. But hopefully, like if you recognize that it's a constructive criticism, maybe there's something you can change, or maybe you have to take yourself away from that situation. So having the courage to be able to do that, and having the knowledge to know which that you can do. So I kind of go back to that in terms of dealing with hate, and that's kind of my closing for this topic on how to deal with hate.
Okay, so before we actually promote ourselves, thank you for that, Angel. Ate Maricel said, God bless haters. Of course, God bless everyone. And then Lemuel Caballero said, life is full of motivation. Don't focus for those people who can help you succeed, but focus on what you want to become as well. So thank you so much for that. Okay, so now it's time to promote yourselves. Ate Sonia, Lee.
Yes, I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Okay, Ate Sonia, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go first. I have my Japanese proverb, and it is said, "Minasan, tonari no sai shibafu wa aoi." It means the grass is always greener on the other side.
Oh, I love that. Okay,
and of course, I promote ba?
Yeah,
Yes, of
na.
course. Yes, Sonia the only one, Sonia Agbayani. I'm a fashion stylist. I live in Japan for a couple of years. And of course, Transistor TV every Monday with all these great ladies with me. And of course, Kuya Roderick Toledo, March 22 is his birthday. So his birthday. Yes, dear
Happy
Roderick.
birthday. Oh.
I love
Lee.
you, Trans.
Thank you, Ate
We
Sonia.
love you, Ate Sonia.
We love you, Ate Sonia.
Well, happy birthday, Ate Sonia. Happy birthday to your mom.
Happy birthday, mother.
Happy 70th. It's a milestone birthday. I just want to say hi to Lizette. I think she's watching. Lizette is one of the executive producers of Quinceañero. Again, if you haven't tried to look them up, like they are still doing their Indiegogo, please fund so that they can continue to create this wonderful project that they're working on. It's kind of what do you call this? I feel like it's a revolutionary project, and it breaks toxic masculinity, especially in the Latino culture. So try to look into that and donate if you can. And follow me, Miss Jorly Talks on YouTube, Lee065 on Instagram.
Thank you, Lee. Okay, and again, I'm my AllyCat Castle. Please follow me as well on my product reviews, as well as unbagging and unboxing of cosmetic products, and that's going to be on AllyCat Castle on YouTube. Okay, back to you, Angel. And thanks, everyone.
And I'm Angel Qinan. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. Hello, the ones who came late, Lemuel and Kim. Hi, everyone. And for me, just my Instagram, Angel Qinan. That's ANGLQINAN. And of course, Transistors TV every Sunday here. Ate Sonia said Monday because Monday is Monday morning in Manila, and Sunday here in the evening. And after this, please don't forget to put a thumbs up because we love lovers. And leave a comment, and hopefully you guys can share, and hopefully you guys can join us every week here on our community discussion. And I hope you enjoyed this, and please comment below on whatever other things that we weren't able to discuss or read. And before we close tonight, we want to celebrate a lot of birthdays tonight, like including our mom and Roderick, but of course one of our very special co-hosts. We wanna celebrate her birthday as well.
Yeah, Miss Sonia. So let's sing a happy birthday to her. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Sonia.
Happy birthday to you. Ate Sonia, happy birthday. We love you.
Thank you. I love you. You are one of my best gifts, sisters. My Transistor TV, you are the best gift for me in this life mine.
Yeah, thank you, Ate Sonia.
In this life,
everyone,
Ate
thank you for
Sonia.
celebrating with us. Ate Sonia's birthday, my mom's birthday, and of
God
course
bless,
our topic
God
for
bless.
today. Yeah,
Mother,
see you guys.
happy birthday.